What's going to happen when I pair the IM20 with the IM30? I think this is 30. I wish I was 30. Anyway, we're going to use these together. This as an optical slave remote, and this is your on-camera flash or trigger. I'm going to keep this down as much as possible. I'm only going to turn this up when I need to reach this. The more power this has, the more likely this is going to flash. And then there's the position of this, but we'll go through that through the video. The other thing is I do love this one. Now, I have the other brand and I like that one. It's metal. This is plastic, but the benefit of this is your plus and minus button right here. You can just go plus or minus. The other one you have to cycle through. It's not that big of a deal, but that's a benefit of the Godox. And the IM20 and the IM30, that's what we're shooting with today. Let's get to the shoot and see how they did. Now, everybody always asks me for raw images with these shoots, and I did a happy medium here. So this is out of camera, but I did some light retouching for blemishes on her face. That's it. And the second image is just some small edits. Now, here it is without the flash. I tried to pick the dingiest areas of the building and something where the flash would really have to actually do its job. But you'll see light editing on these, contrast, color boost a little bit, maybe some black, added some black depth. That's about it. But this is out of camera minus the blemishes on her face. And this is the edit I did. Really light, nothing major. I didn't want to go overboard with it, but I wanted you to see what the flash is producing out of camera, because I think that's important. Now, this is a fun system. Don't get me wrong. I prefer having a flash that had the remote on it. That's something this small. And I keep seeing hints of Godox putting something out soon. So I'm really hoping that's true. Because it looks like it's going to be a small form factor. The i30 is the one that's in my hand, which is also going to have TTL and remote, hopefully. So it'll fire another flash, which I think would be fantastic. So we're waiting to see on that. Hopefully that's coming out soon. But this little setup for fun, this is just a fun walk around setup to shoot like this, because using the on-camera only flash in this dark of a situation, your red eye is going to be a lot more prevalent, because you'd have to turn it up. But with this one, I have that on-camera flash turned down, and I have the, well, that's a bad edit. I apologize for that. And then I have the one I'm holding, the i30. I probably have that at 1/8 power, 1/64 to 1/8. That's it. And there's 4 dots on the one on the camera, the i20. And I think I have it at the first dot or the second dot going back and forth, depending on where that flash is. But the only thing I have to remember if you're doing it this way is to have the top of that flash, the i30 flash, pointed towards the camera. And don't put it too far behind the camera, because it won't see the flash that way. So if you just remember to keep it forward a little bit and make sure the top is pointed towards the camera, it'll fire pretty much every time. I only had 1 or 2 that didn't fire, and normally it was because I had it back too far or my finger was over the sensor. Simple things. Otherwise, it worked pretty well. Now, I tried 2 other ones. I tried the 2 i30s before, but I had them separated, not in hand, but away from the camera. And it wasn't that great, because again, I had to have that flash power low on the camera one, and it just didn't have enough push. But when I turned it up, I was getting very unpleasant looks from the flash on camera. So that was my issue with it's working pretty well. That i20, the power is low enough when you have it at 1 or 2 where it's not going to affect the image that much. It does light the image, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't affect it that much. Now you can see there, when I point it down just a little bit too far, the top of her head, it goes a little bit dark. So you just have to watch your angles with that. And I did that a couple times during this shoot, and I'll show you them because I want you to see the mistakes. This is actually pointed down as well. So I had to bring that up in post, the top of her head. So learning how to aim this without looking all the time is one of your biggest hurdles, because your hand just goes the way it goes. And unless you're looking, you have to glance up at every once in a while and go, okay, because I don't do this enough to have muscle memory on where it should go. Now, if I was using the Godox Lux Master, I know exactly where that thing's going all the time when I'm hand holding it. But this one, it's so tiny, it's a learning curve for sure. So again, even if you do point it just a little too low, you can fix it in post, but I'd prefer not to. So make sure you know where you're aiming. And you'll see me feathering it every once in a while. I'll feather it from one side to the next. and then I'll contort myself and throw the flash on the right side of my body. So I'm literally crossing my arms, and I'll do it in horizontal and vertical mode. Not much of a difference there, but mentally, I think it's getting more coverage vertically when I hold it vertically and I'm shooting vertically. But either way, it's going to work just fine. Now, I just threw it behind her because I wanted to see if this would work. And I took her away from the wall just a little bit, and I pumped up the power to 2 on the main flash. And you can see that here. So I had to bring that down in post. It's a unique look, but nothing spectacular. Playing with these things and learning how to use them like this, I think, is as much fun as photography itself. I love light, and I use every possible light I can get my hands on because I just enjoy using light, no matter what it is. And little pocket flashes like this that are rechargeable, I'll never go through a full recharge during a shoot because I never have them at full power. And even at full power, they're rated at 300 or 400 shots. I don't shoot that many shots during a shoot. I don't even come close. I know some of you do, but right there, you see the top of her head? That flash was pointed down towards her legs more than her head, so I have to bring that out. But those kind of mistakes, you'll just get used to and look in the camera and go, wait a second, I got to look at my hand and see where this flash is pointed, because you're looking at her and paying attention to your subject versus looking up at that flash all the time. But again, if you're using it all the time, muscle memory will get you right in there. But the point of this is, even if you just wanted a small system like this to throw in your bag, because these are tiny little flashes. Again, you don't have to carry batteries because they're rechargeable. But this is a fun system to walk around with, and you can still get great pictures with this system. These aren't the most spectacular photos. That's definitely not a great edit. But if you took time and just used them and learned how to use them, you can get some amazing images with just this little tiny setup. And that's the point of this. And these flashes are very inexpensive. I'll leave the link for these from the Amazon link. They're nice flashes and they're fun to use. So if you're looking for something to play with and to have fun with as far as a 2-flash system, this may be it for you because it is inexpensive and fun to use. Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I hope you got something out of this video, despite some bad shots and terrible edits on some. But again, I really wanted to show you what I was getting out of camera, and then just some minor quick edits, and they're all done in Lightroom. Nothing spectacular and nothing mind-blowing as far as the edits. Anyway, thanks for watching.